We also have hog market analysis this week with University of Missouri Extension economist Ron Plain. The USDA's quarterly hogs and pigs report shows an industry that continues to rebound from the porcine epidemic diarrhea virus. While the inventory of all hogs and pigs was up only slightly from March, it was 9% higher than a year ago, and the average pigs saved per litter was a record for the March to May time period. For the producer, however, June was a difficult month as prices eroded amidst an abundant supply of pork, shrinking margins for producers. We talked with Ron Tuesday morning and began by asking for his initial thoughts on the quarterly hogs and pigs report.
Well, it's kind of surprising, Jeff. More market hogs than we were expecting and fewer sows to farrow than what we was expecting. So sort of some good news and bad news as far as price is concerned.
Yeah, tell me about those farrowings, what we're going to see later on this summer and into fall for supply.
Okay, USDA said spring farrowings was up 1.4%. That was a tad bit less than what we was expecting. As far as farrowing intentions for the summer, June, July, August, down 2.5%. That was below trade expectations. And fall farrowings, September, October, November, down 4.3%. So that's a big drop off in litters this fall, and that's going to give us reduced slaughter next year compared to what we thought we was going to have.
As it relates to PEDV, Ron, how does it show that this report show that the industry has responded?
Well, pigs per litter this spring up 6% compared to a year ago. It's a dramatic turnaround. The first winter with PED here in the United States, death loss was very high. Pigs per litter down about 5.5% compared to a year ago. The second winter up 6%. So most all of that death loss from the first winter was eliminated the second time through.
All right, meanwhile, can you describe how rough prices were during the month of June?
Yes, it was a tough month. Normally June's the highest priced month of the year, and we got a little bit of a rally in late May, but it was downhill from the start to the finish of June. We're ending up the month with prices around $70 on a carcass weight basis. Around $50 on a live weight basis. But we killed lots of hogs. In fact, June hog slaughter is the highest ever for the month of June. So that's why we're going to come in about 11% higher than a year ago, and that's why prices trended down.
How has that affected profit margins?
Well, we made about $26 a head during the month of May by Iowa State calculations. We're probably still going to be in the black for June, but probably in the single digits as lower hog prices and a bit higher feed costs trimmed those profits.
What do you believe is the forecast for July, August, September, and how does that then affect those profit margins?
Well, those market hog numbers are high. The heavyweight group up over 13% compared to a year ago. The 120 to 179 pound group up 11.5%. So slaughter is going to stay high. Every reason to expect prices to continue to trend down from now to the end of the year. We're going to see carcass prices move from right now the low 70s to the low 60s by the fourth quarter.
You mentioned hog slaughter. What about weights, Ron? Where are they at?
Weights are coming down. Lower profits and the slaughter weights are coming down. Iowa, Minnesota barren gilt weights went above 280 pounds back in November of 2013. We stayed above that mark for 83 consecutive weeks until we got to April this year. Then we started down, and now we're back in the upper 270s. During the summer, we're going to see weights continue to stay light and could well be down below year-ago levels for the rest of the year.
So from what we know about the supply of pork, what does it mean for the consumer in the grocery store?
Well, it's going to mean lower prices. Retail pork prices have declined about 5-6 months in a row. We can probably expect that to continue. Pork's going to look very attractive in the meat case in the third and fourth quarter of this year.
Next week we'll get export numbers, international export numbers for pork. What are your expectations?
It was a very slow start on exports this year. We're expecting better performance in the second half of the year. In all, probably for the year down a bit, but we're hopeful of a recovery as we move into the third and fourth quarters.
The latest pork export numbers for the month of May will be released Wednesday. The next quarterly Hogs and Pigs report will be released the final Friday of September.